Water insecurity is a huge global issue. Water insecurity is defined as the unacceptable quantity and/or quality of water for health, livelihood, and production. Recently in the United States, this issue has been brought to our attention due to the Flint, Michigan water crisis. However, globally, this issue affects developing countries the most. 1 out of every 5 deaths in children under the age of 5 worldwide is caused by a water-related disease. That means that over 600,000 children a year die from illness like diarrhea that are directly attributed to unclean water. Additionally, 80% of illnesses in the developing world are linked to poor water and sanitation. Also, unsafe water and poor sanitation and hygiene kill an estimated 1.7 million people annually. A study done by the United Nations found that women and girls spend at least 16 million hours a day collecting drinking water, while men spend an estimate of 6 million hours. Clean water isn't a luxury. It is a basic human right. However, millions of people around the world don't live near a reliable, clean water source or have access to sanitary washing facilities, leaving them at risk of illness and deadly disease. It is important to improve this access to clean water because it is crucial and is one of the quickest ways to lift a community out of poverty.
Our specific plan to help solve water security would be concentrating on a specific village in Honduras called Mejocote. This village is a very poor rural area where girls are often expected to walk miles and miles each day just to retrieve water for their family to use throughout the day. This water would be used for basic needs such as drinking, cooking, and bathing. To help make water easier to access in this area, we would plan to install a hand pump water system near the school. This pump would have a filtration device at the end of it to ensure that the water is safe to drink. This pump would help teach children the importance of drinking clean water, and as we would educate these children, we could also provide pamphlets that would help discuss the proper ways to disinfect water through boiling and iodine. As 638,000 people in Honduras don't have access to clean water and 1 million people lack access to improved sanitation, this water pump would definitely help benefit this community. The girls attending this school will drop their buckets off at the beginning of the school day, and these buckets will be filled by a staff member at the school. The girls will only be able to pick up their water buckets at the end of the school day, which gives them an incentive to stay at school throughout the day before they can take their water to go home to their family.
Our plan will allow girls the new opportunity to get an education by attending the school system. This will help solve the gender inequality in this community by giving women the same access to education as males. This will create educated women who can grow up and play a larger role in society. Our plan will also benefit the community as a whole, as it will increase employment and hire teachers for the influx of female students, as well as employ people to manage and work the water pumps. Therefore, it was important to incorporate the Hallmarks goal of contextual understanding into our plan.
In order to make the water pump effective for the village we are going to use different means of expression. We'll use the most effective forms of communication for a specific audience. In order for the people in the village to understand how to use the water system, we will provide not only written directions, but also diagrams and demonstrations for those who are illiterate. Pamphlets will be given out so that the directions can be taken around the town for anyone to see. For this particular context, it is important for the written information to be in both Spanish and English. These multiple communication methods to pass on our knowledge will allow anyone in the town to effectively obtain sanitary water.
For the second hallmark goal of empathy, it is important to acknowledge and realize how many illnesses and deaths can occur from a lack of water. While this isn't something that we may necessarily worry about every day of our lives, it is important to acknowledge these as experiences that others face. Search for clean water is an integral part of their day and is not something that is guaranteed to them, even if they trek every day to seek it. While we hope to increase the amount of education for the girls in the village and create more jobs, it is also important to manage cross-cultural information sensitively when addressing these sort of claims, as the culture within the communities is also very important to maintain.
Another Hallmarks goal we used to complete our plan was initiative.
When modeling our water pump, we chose to use designs that were similar to those in Africa. The water crisis in Africa has been aided by hand pumps, which makes it easy for the locals to access their own water. Recently, Jaden Smith has also designed a water box to help filter the water from Flint, Michigan. We would improve upon previous water pumps and filtration systems by processing the feedback from earlier efforts to solve this problem. as well as learning from the shortcomings of these earlier efforts. This would be our best approach to use previous designs to take the best of those ideas and then also add to our own original perspectives and ideas.
One of the more obvious Hallmark goals used for our plan was global perspectives. This plan takes into consideration and recognizes that in the specific culture, each family member has a specific role in the family or community. It is the girl's role to get the water, and therefore our plan takes this into consideration by still allowing the girls to bring the water home to their family, but in a safer, more convenient way that also allows them to become educated. This Hallmarks goal was especially important because while navigating complex issues like extreme poverty, water insecurity, and unequal access to education, it was imperative that we reframed our knowledge to consider the different behaviors and cultural values of this village.
We chose this specific topic because this issue affects 1 in 9 people worldwide. It's a very solvable issue that makes a huge impact on any certain town. The water insecurity issue especially impacts women and girls around the world. This hits us close to home as girls are held responsible for obtaining water for their entire household. However, studies have found that for every 10% increase in women's literacy, a country's entire economy can grow by 3%. This problem affects everyone around the world and causes so many deaths that we felt it was especially important. A simple pump and purifier can save hundreds of lives and prevent horrible diseases.
Focusing on the future healthcare field, a lot of doctors and healthcare practitioners see medicine from a U.S. point of view where they don't really tend to focus on bacterial infections or diseases to be a primary reason of illness. These bacterial infections can be caused by water insecurity. It is a negative outlook that providers may be ignorant to waterborne illnesses, and it is important to provide them with information on these healthcare issues that can arise from water insecurity. Once they are educated, this could then become a positive thing.
In conclusion, an improved water supply can boost an area's overall health, economy, and education. We hope the success of the pump in the village of Mexicote will cause the spread of this technique. Hopefully, more towns across the world will be able to implement the water pump to help individuals' health.